Welcome everyone to our Healthy Together time. We are so excited as everyone's filing in. Welcome, welcome. I would love to hear some people hop off mute, and if you could raise your hand if you would like to just share a sentence or two about how Optavia has blessed your life. We'd love to hear. So just raise your hand. Either it should just be like in the chat feature, should give you an option to raise your hand. Love to. Looks like Luann.
Oh, yeah. So there are so many things that Optavia has blessed my life with, but I think the one that stands out the most is the community. I absolutely love the support and love and just uplift that those in the community give to me on a daily basis, just being associated with this.
I love that. I completely agree. That's why we're here tonight, right? Amazing people. Who else?
Hi, can you guys hear me? One of the things that I have found to be a huge blessing with Optavia is just gaining the education I've needed to create greater emotional intelligence in my life. And even further, having the tools I've needed to help my kids to create that same emotional intelligence in their life. That's been huge for me, for sure.
It's amazing when you learn things, how much it spreads. I love it. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Anyone else? Kayla.
My mind just went blank. To me, that's kind of funny. Now it came back to me, and it's because I feel like it opened my mind that I could do this. So it opened my mind to do a lot of other things. So it's been a domino effect of opening my mind to changing how I eat. And I'm like, well, maybe I could do other things different. And so that's been refreshing.
Wow, giving you that confidence. It's amazing how that just builds on each thing. So thank you, you guys, for sharing that. So amazing. Okay, we're going to get going. I am going to share my screen here, and let's move right into our topic tonight. Okay, let me know if you guys can see this. Is everything good? Okay, awesome. So this is me. My name is Chantel Flake, and I am a certified Optavia coach. This picture here on the left, this was about a decade ago. So excuse like the Zumba pants. This was so the trend 10 years ago, if you guys remember. But I was a fitness instructor, and I really did think that I was healthy. Like I had health, but it felt very hard to me at the time. At the time I was teaching 7 to 10 classes a week, fitness. So I was pretty exhausted. I was weighing myself twice a day. I know that sounds crazy, but I was paranoid because I would kind of obsess over food, and I ate the 3 square meals, but I felt like I was hungry all the time. And so when 3 o'clock rolled around, felt like I needed that nap and chocolate. It was irresistible at that point because my blood sugars were all over the place. And I honestly worried if I missed one of those workouts, those 10 workouts, you guys, I felt like I would gain my weight back. So if you can tell, like it was in a panic mode for me at that time. But like at any moment it could go out of control, that I would be unhealthy or be overweight. Okay. That was the state that I was in on the left. Now, fast forward 10 years later, this picture on the right, it actually looks somewhat similar, right? You probably can't even tell too much difference. I mean, I'm 5 pounds lighter, not that drastic, but I'll tell you, if you took a picture of my brain, that's where you would see the difference. My brain is completely different. I just feel relaxed about health. It's a completely different feel. I don't rely on that willpower anymore, and I actually eat anything I want because I want to eat healthy. Isn't that crazy? I eat the 6 balanced meals, balance my blood sugars, and my cravings are literally non-existent. And I can't say I'm perfect at all. but I don't stress about it anymore. It really is because of the Optavia habits of health that I have confidence that I'm going to be a healthy person for the rest of my life. So I'm curious for you, where are you with your own habits? What stage are you in? Have you ever asked yourself this question? Will I gain my weight back? I know we have lots of stories on tonight. You know, maybe you've lost a lot of weight, maybe you haven't, but maybe something related to this question. For me, it was, how am I going to be healthy for the rest of my life? I can do right now white knuckling, but I'm not sure if I can do this much longer. Okay. So I'm curious, if you've asked yourself this question, I would love to put me in the chat if this is you. I know this is you because I've gotten this question quite a few times from some people asking it. So, okay, the chat is blowing up. Yep, you guys have had this question too. Okay, I'm not the crazy one here. So with this question, I thought we would ask our expert, Dr. Anderson, ask him what he says. Okay, right here in this life book or in the Habits of Health book, it says that 85% of people that go on a diet gain the weight back within 2 years. Think about this for a second. They gain the weight back in 2 years. That's kind of a little bit depressing to me. I don't know about you. It's because you guys, I omitted a line just for shock value here. No, this is to prove a point. This line I took out without behavioral support because you guys, you would gain it back in 2 years if it weren't for this. So what this tells me right here, behavioral support is the key. So if you're coming to this call with that question, ding, 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 this is the answer right here, behavioral support. Okay, you might be asking, what on earth does behavioral support even mean? What does it mean? So I want to poll. I want to ask you guys, we have so many people on this call that have been successful with their health. I would say hundreds and hundreds of years of expertise right here. So I want to know, put in the chat, what kind of behavioral support have you used to help you with your long-term health? Put it in the chat. What have you used? Okay, I'm seeing plugging into all 4 components: accountability, coaching, the life book, my health coach, webinars, leaning into community, personal development, having a coach. Okay, this is gold. Yes, habits. This is huge. Okay, keep them coming because I want you guys to really think about this. What things are you utilizing and what things in this chat can you improve on? We're going to be talking about this tonight. I want you guys to get a little glimpse into what this looks like. I'm introducing my friend, my dear friend, Tiari Walker, and my client to show a little bit about what's been going on with her and her health. Tiari, excited to hear you.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. I'm so excited that you guys are on tonight, and I'm just excited to be a part of this because this is the change that I've been talking about for months with Chantel. So you see the bottom picture here. That's me when I first started my journey 8 years ago after I'd had my 3rd baby. And Optavia was great. It worked. Like, it just worked. I did the program, stayed on top of things, built a better habit system, and I lost 22 pounds. I felt fantastic and so energized. And then fast forward a few years later, I had another baby. That's baby number 4. And that baby came during a very stressful time. We were moving, we had a job loss. I had postpartum depression, and we had crushing debt. Like, it was all of life's experiences were being felt in 1 year. And because of that, my health really suffered, my mental health, my physical health. And it was this community that helped pull me back. I saw the way my clients were succeeding. I thought, I can do this again. I can do this. So I white knuckled myself back to better health. I had a 5th baby. Yes, 5. Yes, 5 children. And same thing. I kind of guilted myself. I got to get back on track. I got to get back on track. I got back on track, lost 30 pounds. And then we had a pandemic last year. And my daughter learned to bake. And I don't know if any of you understand what that's like, but it changed my health again. And I felt so frustrated. I sat there and I literally wanted to whack my head against the wall because I kept thinking, I'm broken. There's something wrong with me. This program works because it's worked for me before, and it works for people long term. I've seen it in my clients. I've seen it in my friends and fellow coach community. I haven't seen it in myself. What is wrong with me? I don't know. Put a 1 in the chat if you have ever felt that something was wrong with you, right? If you ever felt like, what is wrong with me? Why can't I get it right? Okay, thank you. I love you guys. Why can't I get it right? I'm a health coach, for heaven's sakes. I help other people. Why do I self-sabotage? What is wrong with me? And so I decided that I was going to take a break from trying to lose weight, and I was going to focus on my mindset. I was going to start putting in the work in my brain. And so with the help of my health coach, Chantel, I started working on that behavioral change modification, rebuilding the structure that I needed. Because somehow I had let little things, rocks of adversity, hit those things down. It was hard. And so with the help of Chantel, she helped me understand what I could do. And this is what I did. I had the green light go on. I realized I didn't have to be the one to know everything. I didn't have to know everything for my health because this was a brand new path for me. And so if you're looking at this and thinking, what kind of path is this going to be like? Am I going to be able to gain my weight, or am I going to be able to keep my weight off? You have to start looking at it and saying, okay, think of it like you're driving a stick shift. Really quick, I'll just make this analogy. I was sitting in first gear, revving that engine really, really hard. I was going nowhere. And I wasn't trusting that there was a second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth gear. I wasn't trusting that it was there. And so with the help of my health coach and her support, I actually realized I can trust the program, I can trust myself, and I can move forward. And so the habits, the life book, our community all became my next gear over and over and over again. And it's helped accelerate my progress, and it's helped accelerate my mindset. And now I'm happy to report I'm like 20 pounds down and have lost 2% body fat. And I feel so energized and happy. And my mindset has shifted completely. And that's because behavioral support. I was trying to white knuckle it before without trying to make those other changes. And this made all the difference.
Tiari, amazing, amazing. What I love about Tiari's story is that she stayed plugged in. She has been on the program the entire time. Her eating plan may have changed, right? For a time, but she has been plugged into these and she never gave up, and that's real life. That's what success looks like sometimes. She never gave up. So I'm just so proud of you, Tiari. I love your real life. Thanks for sharing with us. We're cheering you on. Awesome. Okay, I want to go into this mentality. So I want you to see which mentality you identify with. Okay, I have a picture on the left. Let's focus on the rocking chair. This one on the left. Okay, this is the diet mentality. So think of a rocking chair. So in a rocking chair, you kind of have that natural movement. I'm moving back and forth because that's what a rocking chair does, right? You get the momentum forward, and then once you're all the way forward, then you're sending yourself way back. So it's kind of this like backwards and forwards. So I want you to ask yourself, does this resemble your health? Do you gain momentum and then hit that point and then feel like you're constantly getting pushed backwards? Or do you lose 20 pounds and then gain it back? Okay, is this something you identify with? Well, let's shift to this race car mentality. This is the shift that can happen, as you've seen in Tiari, is that in a race car, we are forward thinking. Okay, we are moving forward. Now, I'm not like a huge NASCAR fan, but I would assume that in a race, there's really no reason to go into reverse if something wrong happens, right? You go off to the side, even if you get a flat tire, right? You're gonna get that fixed. You keep moving, right? That's a whole. It doesn't look perfect. It's not like you just get on that path and keep going. It's that things may happen along the way, but it's forward momentum. It's not this rocking back and forth. So just think about that. Think about which one you are. Put in the chat thread which one you identify more with, the diet mentality, the rocking chair, or more of a lifestyle mentality, the habits of health, that race car mentality of moving forward and moving forward past those mistakes. Okay, love to hear which mentality you identify with. Okay, so I want to see if you guys agree with this statement. Your body matches up to where your mind is set. Think about this. Do you guys agree? So where is your health thermostat set? So say you have a thermostat in your house and it's 70 degrees, but you actually want it to be 65. You can do a lot of things to cool your house down. Like you could bring in all kinds of fans, you could spray yourself with water, but if you don't actually change that thermostat, it's just going to keep going back up to that level that it's set at. So kind of be thinking about this. How can we shift that thermostat? How can that mindset be shifted so that our body matches up to that? So next, I'm thrilled to have my neighbors and friends on, Rob and Amy Ellis. Excited to have them come on and share about how that mindset shift has happened for them.
Okay, so we are, can you see me, Shan?
Yes, sure can.
I need to change my view. But we are super excited to share our story tonight because this is actually our first time sharing it together. My story started 26 years ago when I started having babies. I had been an athlete growing up and really watched what I ate and was at a healthy weight for most of that time. But when I started having babies, that's where the trouble began. And I started watching what I ate really closely, counting calories. And I was like Forrest Gump. I started to run and I ran for 20 years. So, and I ran marathons, half marathons, trying to maintain this healthy weight that's not really healthy. I could get down 20 pounds, but I'd gain it right back. And I got really frustrated with that. About 8 years ago, I had just decided I was just going to be a fluffy grandma, and that was all it is. I'd fought the fight, and it was going to end. You know, it was just, I was going to do my best. And then Chantel posted about a health challenge, and I really wanted Robert to have a healthier life. I had done my best, and I was as healthy as I was going to get, but I wanted something better for Robert. So we jumped on the program together. And I lost 35 pounds in 3 months and Robert lost 50. And I became a health coach. And this is where, and that I've maintained a healthy weight for 6.5 years with very little struggle. But that 6 years ago, that's where Robert's story really began.
Yeah, I do feel like that's where my story began. When I with Chantel's help, we lost that first 50 pounds. It wasn't until I looked at the pictures that I had from before that I started realizing, like, holy cow, I was out of control. I needed help. I just didn't even realize how far I had gotten off path. And during this 6 years, I've realized that my eating habits are bad. I kind of feel like I put way too much emphasis on food and parties and room service and Arby's 5 for $5. I mean, those things just throw me for a loop. I'm like 5 beef and cheddars for $5. So I struggle with a lot of that thing. And over these 6 years, I've gotten pretty good at jumping on the 5 and 1, getting down close to my goal and being fine for a little while. And then just every time, you know, I go back to those habits and I just start, you know, getting myself back up there. And it really wasn't any different this last September. But I set a goal to be at a certain weight in December. It was our anniversary, and I let myself go. I think I was at 230, but I'd really let myself go. I tried to get going for months. I'd start on a Monday, and I would write my goals, do my weight, write it on paper, and then by Wednesday, somebody would invite me to lunch, and I would go to lunch and derail. And I'd spend the whole rest of the week eating everything that I wasn't going to be able to eat for the next 3 months. I honestly ate fish and chips, I think 3 times in a row in 2 days, because I'm just like, I'm not going to be able to eat these ever again. So I in September, I had let myself get to this point where I couldn't really mess up. I didn't have enough time to get to my goal. And so what I did is I said, okay, everything that I do until December, I had a deer hunt, I had a couple little vacations, I need to go and come back either the same weight or a little bit less. And the weird thing is I don't know, something shifted in my head, that the way that I was approaching it, and it started to work. And I'd come back and I'd get on the scale. I'd be like, I'm the same, or I was a little bit less every time. And it started to change my focus from the things I wasn't able to eat or do to how I was looking. I threw away literally everything in my closet and bought new clothes. I got a membership to Lululemon now. It's like, it's out of control, but it just showed me where I could get. And one of the biggest things I struggled with is the BMI chart. Is it? Yeah, it's right here. This thing is horrible. I watched this my whole life, and I always felt like there had to be something wrong with this chart. Like at my lowest weight ever in my life, I was still in the orange. And it was just hard for me. But, after that anniversary and everything I'd learned, I just kept applying all my healthy habits. And, right now I'm smack dab in the middle of the green. I never thought it was possible, but I feel great. And I couldn't have done it without Chantel's and Amy's help. I've had several coaches.
Yeah, we swapped him back and forth
Teamed up.
when we were sick.
Amy's like, you take them, you do something, see if you could do it. I'm like, you know what? This is all Rob. And Amy, Rob, why I love your story is that it just shows that Amy, you lost 35 pounds in 3 months, like that. Okay, it happened for you because you had been preparing that mindset for years. You were ready for that. Okay, you went straight into that lifestyle mentality. You were ready for that lifestyle. Rob, it's okay that it took you 6 years later that finally it clicked for you. How cool that you did not give up this whole time. You were trying to make some positive changes in your life, right? And you kept tweaking and tweaking until it clicked, that mindset. And what Rob told me the other day was amazing. He said, you know what? I eat whatever I want to eat. I could relate to him so much because he loves being and feeling healthy. Don't you, Rob? Is that accurate what you said? Like you
would have given me more minutes to talk. I would have said that, but I ran out.
I just think it's amazing. That's when it's that shift, is that you're out of that restriction. You want to live that healthy life. So cool. I love these real life examples because it's one thing to show up here what that looks like, but it's another to see in person and from your story. So thank you so much for sharing. So lastly, I want to cover the 4 components of the program. I know you guys are very familiar with these if you've been in our community a little bit, but these are just a reminder, which of these can you just level up in just a little bit? Which of these can you implement a little bit more? Because everyone getting a coach. Have you communicated with your coach lately? Have you had that accountability? Have you used the Habits of Health transformational system to adjust that mindset? This is what we use to adjust that mindset. Your Optavia community. Well, you're here tonight, so there's that. And are you using the fuelings for a specific meal plan? Okay, this is our program. All of these components are our program. So let's go. Thank you so much, you guys, for being here tonight and listening to this. What we're going to do next is we're going to go right into a little more information about coaching. And so we're going to end that with some basics. So if you're curious about any of this, like how Amy became a coach and how people were asking her and she became a coach so that she could really instill that within herself and become 500% more likely to reach and maintain that weight. Or if you're even curious how much coaches make or any of that, stick around and we'll go over those. So thank you everybody for being on tonight. We'll see ya. Okay, we're just gonna go right into this next part. And I'm so excited because this is one of my very most favorite topics to talk about. And this is all about paying it forward and how to help others with this amazing company. So right here are some serious bragging rights with our company. Optavia was named the second fastest growing company in the world in 2020. And so we are also projected to be the top 1.4 billion, or projected to top 1.4 billion in revenue this year. So pretty amazing, pretty amazing. So I think this is kind of why people really want to become a coach. I think there's lots and lots of reasons, but becoming 500% more likely to reach and maintain your weight is a big one. Coaching being fulfilling and fun and earning money as we go. That was a big incentive for me as well. So I wanted to go over a few things, how the financial health can help. And if you're curious how much coaches make, that's what we're going to go over. So just to start off, I know some people are wanting to coach to just help a few people on plan. And that really looks like time-wise, maybe an average of about 30 minutes per day where you're helping around 6 people. That's an extra over $500 a month. Pretty cool. Now, some people are looking to help a little bit more, where they're helping about 17 people or more. This is about 2 hours a day on average, and they're making about $2,000 a month. And this is, as you can see, it's kind of a choose your own adventure. So any one of these are available, talking to your business coach to see what this would all entail. Another example would be an integrated national, which would be helping hundreds of people, impacting a large amount of people, spending maybe 4 hours a day on average, and making about $8,500 a month. So lots of possibilities here. And this is what we teach you in our training to be able to do and to help you with, of how to make the most of your time so that you can be able to do that. So I know when I first was looking into this, I just thought this was amazing. I thought I would love to be able to do this. And I know home-based business is kind of a buzzword, especially post-COVID world. People are kind of looking towards that. And maybe maybe that's what you're wanting to get into. That sounds awesome. Maybe you are a little skeptical of home-based businesses. And I have to say, you aren't alone, because if you were to Google these numbers, this is what would come up, is that 99% of home-based business earners, entrepreneurs, are actually losing money. Okay, so if you have a family member that's like, oh, I don't know, I haven't wanted to do that, they probably are right, in the sense that most home-based businesses, you are losing money, or 1% are making over $3,000 a year. Okay, that's crazy numbers. Well, in Optavia, I want to be very clear that our numbers are very different because of our training, because of our background, and because of our experience. We have drastically higher numbers, where 78% of Optavia coaches are actually making money. 78%. Yeah, there are some percentage that decide to not be, that they get a health coaching kit and put in the closet. They decided that they didn't want to help anyone after that. But even 15% of people are making over $5,000 a year. That's pretty cool. So talk to your business coach about that and see which one of those, which choose your own adventure excites you. Now, here's some common questions we'll go over just a few of these because we just have a few more minutes, but think about what questions you have that come up. For me, a big question was this first one: do you have to lose weight or be at a healthy weight to coach? And I actually didn't know the answer to that, but I found out that no, you do not, because I am an example of that. I lost a few pounds, but it was nothing drastic. So absolutely, that's possible. Do you have to know everything before you begin? I think every coach struggles with that a little bit. Like at the beginning, they think, oh, I don't know enough. I haven't gone to school for a decade to become a professional. Well, it's actually better in this field. When you come to the table and we're able to train and help you with the system, we will give you all of the tools necessary for you to be successful, as long as you're teachable and you would like to learn. We love to teach. With clinical studies, are there clinical studies? Is this fact? And the answer is 30 years of these clinical studies at Johns Hopkins University and National Institute of Health. And also with that comes a certification through COPE, Center for Obesity Prevention and Education at Villanova School of Nursing. So definitely we have that backing, that education, and it's amazing what this program and what people in this program have been able to accomplish and being able to help with this system, these tools. So if you have any other questions, please talk to your business coach and kind of go over what that would mean for you. But thank you, you guys. We are so excited to have you come and really just ask yourself. I want you to ask yourself with this question right here. If I keep doing what I've been doing, will I get different results? And are you ready to take a new path and help others? I want you to think about that. Are you ready? Because we're ready to help you. So thank you everyone for joining us tonight, and feel free to stick around to learn more. We'll be starting our coaching quick start soon. Thanks you guys.